Remember this. If Rowling had said no after 12 publishers and just walked away, if Oprah Winfrey never returned to a TV studio after her first rejection, if Amitabh Bachchan did not want to do any more movies or even start out in Bollywood after his radio jockey rejection, or if Michael Jordan never picked up a basketball again after his high school, do you realize what we would have missed out on? You will not make it past the first 30 seconds of this video. That is how well you have been conditioned. Scrolling and clicking is now easier than just sitting and listening. For the 1% of the people who will make it to the end, this one is for you. Ever been told that you're not good enough? I have. Maybe after a job interview, sometimes after a project pitch, sometimes even in a relationship. At some point of time, we've all been there. But here's a twist. What if rejection actually means that you are onto something big? Some of the most successful people in the world have faced their fair share of rejection. And they faced it multiple times and they kept rolling with it. They didn't just survive it, they used it to reach incredible heights. Imagine this: a single mother scribbling notes in cafes and facing 12 rejections before her little story finally got published. 12 publishers didn't think that her concept was quite worth it. If any of those people are watching, you made a bad judgment call. But that's okay. Who really bets on a content creator when they're just starting out, right? That writer, that woman, was J.K. Rowling, and that book was Harry Potter. Another example: this woman was fired from her first TV job and told that she was unfit for television. Oprah. But rejection didn't stop her. In fact, she pushed so hard that not only did she become a stellar media icon, but she became one of the most influential people of the 21st century. This actor wanted to be a radio jockey earlier on, but he was rejected because of his voice. When he started out in Bollywood, his first 12 movies were straight flops. However, today, that man himself is a living legend and his voice is iconic and known around the world. Amitabh Bachchan. Do you still need more examples? Here goes. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Everyone knows that. Elon Musk was near bankruptcy with all of his early ventures. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, struggled with professional setbacks when he started. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in a garage because nobody would invest in it. Walt Disney was fired from his newspaper job for lacking creativity. Sylvester Stallone was practically broke before Rocky was actually produced. Steven Spielberg was rejected by the School of Cinematic Arts. But my favorite, the real GOAT, is Colonel Sanders. This man had perfected the chicken recipe, the fried chicken recipe, and he had pitched it to over 1,000 people and none of them bought it. So, at the age of 62, he got up and started KFC himself. Are we missing something here then? Collectively, as the human race. Rejection is supposed to be bad, right? Or is it a necessary ingredient on the path to becoming super successful? Let's find out. We know that rejection stings. The answer to that question of why is quite simple. It's wired into our brain like that. Historically, being accepted meant being part of the herd, and that guaranteed your safety and your survival. On the other hand, when you are in a situation where you're being thrown out of the herd, that is rejection, where it becomes a threat to your sense of safety. Studies even show that rejection affects the same area of the brain as physical pain. So it's quite normal actually to feel hurt. But here's the thing that successful people don't really want you to know. You can actually learn to rewire your brain by learning to be resilient. And that makes you stronger, much, much stronger than you believe you are or you can be. I'm Arfat Khan and welcome to Fatty's Mind Forge. If you're new here, do hit that subscribe button and tune in for some perspective. Alright, so rejection hurts. We know that. But you can flip it. Here's how that works. Step 1. Reframe the rejection. J.K. Rowling not being selected by 12 publishers did not mean that J.K. Rowling was not talented. It just meant that she hadn't found the right publisher yet. Next time you face rejection, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Maybe it's a sign to refocus your efforts, or maybe it's a sign that you are on the wrong path and you need to apply those efforts to another direction, one that aligns more with your sense of self. Either way, it's feedback, it's not failure. You just need to keep working hard. Step 2. Channel your energy into action. The absolutely worst thing that you can do is to just sit on it because you're too lazy to do anything about it. Use rejection as fuel, like Oprah did when she pushed ever harder after being fired from her first job, like Amitabh Bachchan did despite all of those flops, like Michael Jordan did when he trained harder that summer after being cut from the high school team. If someone says no, you take that as your personal challenge to go out and prove them wrong. Every no can actually be turned into a not yet. And not yet implies that there is an effort underway to get that done. And that effort is to work even harder. Step 3. Strengthen your core purpose. Write it down, scream it out to yourself in front of a mirror, but make sure you really remind yourself. Remember why you started. Jordan loved basketball. Amitabh Bachchan wanted to tell powerful stories. Oprah wanted to give the people a voice. Elon Musk wants to take us to Mars and beyond. When you know your why, rejection just feels more natural. It's part of the process. It's a game that we play. It's just a gust of wind blowing in the opposite direction. Most importantly, it's a reminder to refocus your efforts. There is no way in which you can skip the hard work. So here's the takeaway. Rejection is inevitable. It is in fact an intrinsic part of the growth process. It's the test that the universe throws at you to figure out if you're really serious about what you're doing. You can let it define you, or you can let it drive you. Remember this. If Rowling had said no after 12 publishers and just walked away, if Oprah Winfrey never returned to a TV studio after her first rejection, if Amitabh Bachchan did not want to do any more movies or even start out in Bollywood after his radio jockey rejection, or if Michael Jordan never picked up a basketball again after his high school, do you realize what we would have missed out on? Some of the greatest stories and legacies of our time. Do not let that be you. Embrace your rejection, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Because sometimes even the biggest no is just a not yet. Thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.